Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Welcome to the show. I'm Jose Cruz. You're listening to the Literacy for All radio show on WS Radio. We have as our guest the president of the Laubach Literacy Council of San Diego County, Jennifer Quilkey. Did I say that right, Jennifer?
You did, Jose. Good job.
Okay, thank you. So glad to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. And so glad to really be talking to someone at the, I want to say, the purest literacy service level, because the Laubach Literacy Council goes back many decades. In fact, it says
it does.
1961, yeah. Right?
Right, that's right, yep.
Oh, my goodness. And no paid staff, really no office, a group of dedicated volunteers who are out there providing instruction. I don't want to take all the information. I want you to share it. Tell us, and then we're going to ask you why you're doing this, but tell us what happens at the Laubach Literacy Council of San Diego County.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We really are a real sort of grassroots organization. We have over 170 volunteers who are tutoring around all of San Diego County. We work in community centers, libraries, some churches, whoever really will provide us space free of charge, because as you said, we have no paid staff. We have no source of income other than grants we apply for, donations that we receive, and that kind of limits what we can do in terms of pay for, but we find we don't, need as much as you'd think, given the volunteers that we have who, are the cornerstone of our organization.
Well, it's a very powerful thing you said, that with literacy, there's certain things that you need to have. You need to have people. You need to have books. You can find a space. Hopefully, people know how to find you, and your organization has succeeded over, let's say, 58 years now in sustaining these different places. I want to say it's about 15, 16 different locations in San Diego County where they're providing a small group and one-to-one instruction in English for adults.
You're right, but Jose, we actually are up to about 28 locations now. We have really gotten quite a few more in the last few years. Actually, that's how I came on board. I volunteered with the organization about a year ago, and they were looking into starting another center at the Encinitas Library up here in Encinitas in North County. Mm-hmm. And I raised my hand, and lo and behold, I started that center up, and just in about a year, we have 10 or 12 tutors there, and are serving over about 20 students at the moment, depending on the day and week. So yeah, we're growing, but as you said, the importance with books is, I guess, our partnership with the libraries, in that if we have places where people can't afford books, the libraries have them and help us find them. Hector Ortega has been really instrumental with helping us with that from the San Diego County Library. And they point us to all the resources, help us get things for our students if we need to, and don't have the funds for it.
Well, I need to get the updated list of your centers. So this actually goes back, because I do remember that number. Also saw for a time there that those numbers dropped, but you brought them back up again. And so that's exciting, because for a lot of our students, having something near them in their community is exactly what they need. So they feel like there's something that their community is offering them, low cost, no cost. You don't charge anything for services, and so the more that people know that there are all these centers out there, the better for everyone. So very good. Oh my God,
that's right. Yeah, we have centers from Alpine through Lemon Grove, Linda Vista, out Valley Center, just a whole lot. So if you look at our website, laubachsandiego.org, you can see all those locations. People can also see where they can click on to volunteer or learn. And that's been, as you said, helpful in helping us get more volunteers, especially is the website. So,
well, let's talk about the volunteers. You have, I think you have center directors, and you also have the tutors. How are folks finding you? How are you finding them?
Several ways, I guess. I actually found out about it tangentially through an organization called Stand United San Diego. I was actually looking with my youngest daughter, who's now at 18, but back then she was in high school, and was looking for places to try to find some community service activities. She wants to be a teacher, and we looked at and found this, but then we found out you have to be 18 to tutor, and she wasn't 18 yet. So it didn't help her, but I thought, I used to be a teacher. And since she's my youngest and about to leave the nest, so to speak, I thought that'd be a great way to get back involved in teaching. And so I found out about it that way. Other people find out about it, I guess, through the website. We also have brochures in the libraries and community centers where we tutor. We try to go to like street fairs, library, information days. I know something called Vital Aging is coming up is it June? I think it's June 18th.
This is the
Do you
one.
know about Vital Aging?
Yeah, I think so. It may be the one thing that the Union Tribune puts on. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have a few of these conferences that are for long timers.
I'm not sure who puts that one on, but so we're planning on trying to share a booth there with the San Diego County Library. So we'll have brochures there, obviously. So I guess
Very
the
good.
libraries are so good about putting our information out there too. So
excellent. Now you can't just pull up and start tutoring someone. You have a training, don't you? That the volunteers go through.
Yeah, we do. We actually offer free training 3-4 times a year, depending on needs and where we can find space. Again, because we don't have a lot of funds, we're looking for space that's free or low cost. And we just finished one. It's over 2 Saturdays from 9:30 to 4, and we just finished one in Claremont this past Saturday, May 11th. So it was May 4th and May 11th. It's all free of charge, very, very good training. And then once you complete that and have a background check, which is required by the library system, you're ready to tutor. We provide resources. We provide observation opportunities if you don't feel quite certain about your skills yet, which we don't require any, really, just that you be fluent in English and have an empathy for adults, especially who are trying to struggle with learning English. Then, you're ready to go.
Very good. So all your volunteers, they do go through training. They do have the background check done, not because they're working with young people, because they're working with adults, but because they're working in the library?
Right. The San Diego County Library system requires us to have background checks. I guess it's becoming more and more common. Actually, that also, they help with our costs. They provide those for us at no charge, which is really nice. They help us with half of our training costs. So I really want to shout out to the library system.
Yeah, right.
Here,
Miguel
who helped
Costa.
make this happen.
Yeah, and his crew. Yep.
But our cost, that is actually one of our larger costs, is our liability insurance, and it recently doubled this year because we had to add sexual, harassment? I guess that's it. Sexual harassment coverage.
Yep. Okay, very good.
One library or one facility required it, so we had to add it, and then, there go our costs. Bam, doubled for that.
Very good.
So,
well, you're keeping it running, and it's strong as ever. And of course, to the students, you're a godsend, and maybe we can talk a little bit in the next segment about some of your favorite learner stories, but here are folks who are looking for the opportunity to learn English and in a format that's flexible. I know that we have adult basic education institutions that provide service in the classroom, but you're providing this on a more personal basis, and it's got to be fun, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's really what we find once we start. We just get hooked on it. Working with the people day to day, seeing them come in, make that time to commit out of their own very busy schedules. As we know, everybody's got something else going on. And we have people, say, for example, my own experience at Encinitas, who will show up to my class on Tuesdays, and we have another really dedicated new tutor in the last year, Walt Robleski, who tutors Thursdays and Fridays. They show up to his class as well. He also took on the treasurer role on our board. So it's amazing how quickly you get hooked.
Very good. You have really good people, and you also give them the opportunity to give to the community, and that makes people feel good. I think, there's so many benefits that are mutual, and so we have ways for people to help and places for people to go for help. We've been talking to Jennifer Quilkey. She's the president of the Laubach Literacy Council of San Diego County, and their mission is to promote literacy in English as a second language in San Diego County. We'll be back with Jennifer in just a few minutes. You've been listening to the Literacy for All radio show, and this is WS Radio, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
I've heard this is like one of the best pizza spots in town.
Yes, it is.
I'll do a slice of pepperoni, slice of vegetarian.
You got it.
And I will pay for all of that in 3 days.
In 3 days? What's that mean?
Well, wait, you accept credit cards. That money's not going to hit your account for 3 days anyway.
I need my money quicker.
At Chase, we hear you. With Express Funding, card payments are in your Chase account the next business day. Go to chase.com/expressfunding. Chase for business, so you can.
Compensated participation. All businesses are subject to credit approval. Not all clients are eligible for next business day funding, and additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Donate cash, furniture, clothes, and other gently used household items to Father Joe's Villages and get a nice tax break in April. Every donation is tax deductible. Believe you can make a difference. Be Father Joe. Go to neighborhood.org or call 1-800-HOMELESS to donate today.
Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat. Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID communications.com.
Too much to do? Not enough time to get it done? Call on the experts at Another 8 Hours for your business support needs. By partnering with Another 8 Hours, we allow you to focus on the more important matters, like being in front of your clients, doing what you do best, rather than being stuck at a desk poring over paperwork, rummaging through emails, returning phone calls, and struggling to get everything done by yourself. Meanwhile, your family and social life are going down the drain. Go to another8hours.com or call 8 more hours. That's 866-734-6877.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Can you imagine a world without children? A world where children don't play, or dream, or imagine?
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're working every day to find cures for diseases that strike down children. Because we can't imagine a world without children. Can you?
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. To learn how you can help, log on to our website, stjude.org.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Jose Cruz. You're listening to the Literacy for All radio show on WS Radio. Our guest is the president of the Laubach Literacy Council of San Diego County, Jennifer Quilkey. Jennifer, you were teaching for a long time, and what were you teaching?
I taught middle school math and computing, so I actually never taught English as a second language, which just goes to show you really don't need much more experience than a little bit of training and to be able to speak English.
And how was that? I don't want to call it a transition because you're doing this. You want to do this. It's not like you moved, but now you're in a classroom with adults or in a one-to-one situation or in a center. Here are adults who speak other languages, and you're teaching them English. What would you say was the most striking difference between that newer experience and what we were doing before?
Well, gosh, a couple of them. First, working with adults who want to be there is very different from working with children who have to be there, right? So,
right.
The commitment and just the energy level that the adults bring to their learning is one thing. I guess the second is that I was a little nervous at first because even though I had experience teaching in the classroom, I had never taught adults and I had never taught English as a second language. I think the biggest thing that all of us learn the first few months is to slow down. Teaching English as a second language is so different from teaching in someone's native language. And we don't really realize that at first. We have these books, these lessons are somewhat laid out, and I know I was kind of trying to get through the lessons thinking I was doing the students a great service by trying to teach them as much as I could, as fast as I could, not realizing that they just weren't able to pick up that much. And then when I started trying to practice a language to go for a quick overseas trip, it hit me again how little you're able to retain in another language immediately, and just a few vocabulary words you can actually remember from day to day. So slowing down, and then just trusting that the students are doing their best and showing up every day, and sometimes that's enough. It's
a great lesson. I've had the opportunity to sit in on tutoring sessions. It's been a while, but the thing that you see is exactly what you're describing. You know, wanting to get through the material, wanting to teach as much as you could, and forgetting that, you know, it takes some time to absorb things, especially a language where, you know, every word might be new, and so you need repetitive exposures to it and the opportunity to practice that language. But certainly hearing it, it's a tough thing, you know, it really is. Can you share, while we're still on, maybe some of your favorite stories with the families or the students you're working with, just things that have happened because you've provided help to them?
Yeah, that'd be great. The first one's not me personally, but at one of our centers, I know that, every year we have an annual meeting and brunch, and we try to share some of our student success stories. And so some of the best ones are nominated by their tutors. And one woman was from the Ukraine. She was a practicing medical doctor in her own country, but moving over here at the age of 40 with no English speaking skill made practicing medicine here an unrealistic goal. But because of her already advanced level of education, she was able to learn English in a short period of time. Sufficient enough for her to be able to take the test for nursing certification and passed, and now has an excellent job.
Wow.
So there are, stories like that, and then there are others, maybe as simple as someone learning enough English to start her own, small business and even housekeeping or something like that. we've had many learners develop language skills sufficient to go on to obtain citizenship status. And the library is a great partner with that as well, because they offer through their adult literacy services program citizenship classes. So when ours get to a level sufficient enough for them to join those, they're right there in the library, ready for them to move on into.
And we're in Southern California, so I think the assumption quite often is that the individuals that we're seeing are Spanish-speaking. What are the other languages, cultures, countries you see represented in the student population you're serving?
Yeah, good point, yeah. Our latest demographic report shows we have learners from Japan, Korea, Taiwan, China, Vietnam, Philippines, Ethiopia, the Middle East, Europe, Mexico, Latin America, and South America. So runs the gamut. We have some centers where people might be speaking 10 or 15 different languages. And actually, coincidentally, that's one of the things I've found works best in the classroom. When nobody speaks the same language, they have to work in English. And it really promotes a common bond, but also there's just no way out for them. They have to speak English, and they do, and it actually helps them move farther along faster.
Yes, one of the myths is, and I can, like, we do take the referrals at the Council on Literacy. People call, and we ask them if they want to teach someone English, and they say, "Well, I don't know Spanish," and we say, "Good."
Good,
yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And so you're right. I mean, you can have a classroom, 25, 30, 45 languages in one classroom, but the common goal is English. So I think that's a really important thing for listeners to hear, especially if they're interested in volunteering. We don't want them to be discouraged because they think they have to learn 2 languages. So how can people be in touch with you, Jennifer, and the Laubach Literacy Council if they want to come in as a volunteer, if they want to be a tutor trainer or a center director? You need all of those, don't you?
We need those. We also need board members. We currently are in need of board members, tutors, trainers, volunteers, all of that. I think the best way is through our website, which is laubachsandiego.org, Laubach, sandiego.org. There are tabs there, and people can click on whatever they need, whether it's to tutor or volunteer, learn more about us, donate. We need donations to help pay those fees that keep coming. I also wanted to go back to our motto, which is each one, teach one, because part of our student success stories, and we've had many, are when students themselves turn around and become tutors. And that to them is just, I think, the highest honor they could have is when they are able to then give back to the organization and community that's helped them.
Well, you talk about paying it forward, and that really is the roots. I mean, the Each One Teach One goes all the way back to Frank Laubach and the work that he was doing in the Philippines so that the residents there could read. And he brought that program to the U.S., and it's a great story, great family, and really still doing the work they've been doing. I don't know how far back that they go. Do you know, Jennifer?
You mean the Each One Teach One?
Yeah, that, or even just Frank Laubach's work.
Well, Frank Laubach was a Christian missionary, in the early 1900s. And I did look that up because I did want to know more about that Each One Teach One, and it's actually an African proverb that originated in America during slavery times.
Okay.
Slaves were seen as chattel and denied an education, as those of us who've had a good education remember. Mm-hmm. I'm from Texas, so things were a little different there.
Yeah.
But when one slave learned to read or write, it became his or her duty to teach someone else. And then, Frank was a Christian missionary. And I want to stress that we are a secular organization, mm-hmm. Even though he started as a Christian missionary, and we work in churches, but all are welcome.
I'll cut you off, Jennifer.
I
just want to thank you. Frank Laubach's work continues to you and all the folks in your organization. So glad to have you. This is Literacy for All radio show. We're on WS Radio, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
$8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
In the military, things can change in an instant. Your personal life is just the same. Just like you protect our country, you want your family protected. That's why thousands of military members trust Navy Mutual Life Insurance. Navy Mutual is nonprofit, providing current and former Navy, Marine, and Coast Guard families with life insurance, no sales fees, and no military service restrictions. Protecting members on active duty and beyond. Call 1-800-628-6011, 800-628-6011, NavyMutual.org, insuring those who serve.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
I've heard this is like one of the best pizza spots in town.
Yes, it is.
I'll do a slice of pepperoni, slice of vegetarian.
You got it.
And I will pay for all of that in 3 days.
In 3 days? What's that mean?
Well, wait, you accept credit cards. That money's not going to hit your account for 3 days anyway.
I need my money quicker.
At Chase, we hear you. With Express Funding, card payments are in your Chase account the next business day. Go to chase.com/expressfunding. Chase for business, so you can.
Compensated participation. All businesses are subject to credit approval. Not all clients are eligible for next business day funding, and additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. MOZEguitars.com, 619-698-1185.